again. The passing game was not as good. They did have two big gains, one to Elijah Moore on a deep pass and one to Shipley on a wheel route. Outside of that, however, they didn't get much going without Devontae Smith doing team reps. Jalen Hurts had 3 picks, all in 7-on-7, which is a very high number for him. This guy had 3 interceptions in 7-on-7 that was designed for the passing game. This practice was decided at the end, and the biggest reps of the day. Patriots offense drove the ball into the Eagles' red zone, kicking a field goal. The Eagle offense had a tough time moving the ball and didn't get a field goal. Observations of ESP, Patriots had a better day than what the Eagles did. End of story. And that's a guy who was there. By the way, that's not me. I wasn't there. That's a guy who is an Eagle mouthpiece who said that, once again, the passing game struggled. A common theme. Devontae wasn't there. Well, you better make sure you have all your aces out there, because if you don't, you're not going to do very much unless that run game comes back. End of story. That's end of story. You believe Hurts has the arm talent to excel in the passing system? I don't see that, but I hope you're correct. Okay. Once again, read it, and this is like being objective. I'm using somebody else's lens and not my lens. And a guy who's a homer basically said we ran the ball well, which is really what you want to hear. What you don't want to hear is that Drake May took the Eagles secondary to the woodshed. And I know, according to Eagle fans, the scrimmage doesn't matter and the exhibition game against the Ravens doesn't matter, correct? None of it matters. None of it matters. It's just none of it matters, right? Okay. Well, guess what? Test 2, you failed. Now, I'll take that back. You didn't fail because the run game showed up. The run game showed up. So it's not a fail. And once again, Q didn't lock down A.J. Brown. He dropped the football. A.J. Brown went out there. By the way, I loved his post-press conference too. I listened to it. He had nothing but love for everyone. Almost all the Eagle players went up to him except Hurts after the scrimmage, and they were all giving high fives. The only guy that didn't show up was Hurts. So, there you go. Test 2, a D. A C, because the run game showed. And by the way, these are people that were there. I'm going to go and even go over what Jalen said today. How about this? You may not believe what I say, but surely you believe what Vic Fangio says and what Jalen Hurts and some of the players are saying. No? Or is it you want to hear what you want to hear? Hey, I'm in an echo chamber today. I wasn't there. I'm just commenting on what, again, on what was seen today. An F game and a C scrimmage. All right. And you're 25 days away from the start of the season. Learning a new offense. So how about this? Let's go to what Jalen said. Let's go to what Hurts said today. Here's Jalen. Ran the ball well. 7-on-7 was rough for me and rough on me. 3 picks in the football game. Still building on stuff. We haven't really put all of it in yet. It's a new system. We're learning. Working on the outside stretch runs. We all have to be on the same page. We need more reps if we're going to be good. A lot of love for AJ. Okay, I believe that. When asked about Mekhi Lemon, challenging not to be out there. That's an understatement. That's an understatement. The most encouraging thing about today is clearly they felt good about the run game. And if you're going to take any positives out of this, that is the only one. Your pass game is a year away from being competitive. Especially without Devontae Smith. So it looks like the Saints, dealing with rough injuries, lost their DT for the year, Jordan Tyson for 2 months, and now Kamara. Yes. Okay? So again, sounds like we're getting the rough kinks out of the preseason, that more reps is needed with all the starters on the field. I agree with that, SS. I do. Lemon Juice spent the morning rubbing his tender hammy. Holy cow. This has to be a severe injury. Had to have been a severe injury for him to be out this long. I mean, really. Once again, Eagles not telling you about his injuries because either that or he's soft. Pick one. Either you're hurt more than what they initially reported, like Lane Johnson last year, or this guy's soft. Pick one. Sills, do you know where Jalen Hurts threw the picks? Nope. If they were outside or deep or what would be bad, comfortable there over the middle is less than of an issue because that's new to him. Listen what Bob Brown just said. A quarterback in year 7 throwing across the middle of the field is new to him. That doesn't even make sense to me. In the NFL, 7 years in the NFL, throwing over the middle is new to him. Damn, Bob. Really? We're year 7, and that's new to him. I mean, how can that be new to him in year 7? How's that possible? Dominated at the point of attack again. You were owned in your secondary. Supposedly the strength of your team. May carved you like you were an evening steak. The guy barely had the ball hit the ground. Dominated. AJ had 3 catches of over 20 yards in the game. Tariq Woolen looked like the Tariq Woolen they let walk in Seattle. Sills, I heard the D front did good against Drake, was sacked a few times in those completions. What do you hear about? Again, it's a controlled scrimmage. Absolutely. What about the 3 picks that Hurts threw in 7-on-7? 7-on-7 is created for the quarterback. How fully engaged do defenders get with blocks and joint practices? Here's the deal. You're not going to go low, you know? And when you get near the quarterback, you're told to pull off. So, again, they're quality reps, but not really to the ground. Okay? So you got to remember that. And you got to put that in context. Seals, I'm not upset and concerned like other Eagle fans. I want Jalen and the offense to go through adversity and roadblocks now instead of midseason. Totally good. Who cares about picks? Let them have freedom to let it go in practice. That's the whole point. You need to fail to grow. Okay? Okay. Not a bad take.